the United States is upgrading the power of its Navy, not through billion-dollar aircraft carriers or warships, but with unmanned machines that cost only a few $100,000 each. With these machines, human lives will no longer be lost in vain. So, how is the U.S. Navy's plan to build an unmanned fleet progressing? To answer that, we first need to understand why the Navy must enhance its strength through automation. The reason lies in its strategic competitors. Look at Russia. Its military power continues to grow by the day. And before your eyes stands one of the clearest examples of that rise. The nuclear submarine Knyaz Posharsky, a 170-meter-long, 13.5-meter-wide beast, can reach speeds of up to 55.6 kilometers per hour underwater thanks to its nuclear reactor and steam turbines. It's equipped with stealth technologies capable of evading even some of NATO's most advanced defense systems. The vessel also carries a fleet of nuclear-powered underwater drones named after the sea god Poseidon. But that's not all. The Knyaz Posharsky can be armed with up to 16 nuclear missiles, each with an estimated range of 9,000 kilometers. With its arrival, the entire United States is no longer a safe haven for the U.S. Navy's forces. This has left officials in Washington deeply uneasy. Yet, Russia isn't the only concern. The Pentagon is also worried about the rapidly expanding Chinese fleet. According to the U.S. Department of Defense's 2023 annual report, Beijing now possesses more than 379 warships in total, officially surpassing the U.S. in sheer numbers. Pentagon projections suggest that number could rise to 435 by 2030. This reflects mainland China's clear ambition to overtake America in naval power. With the growing might of Russia and China, tensions in contested regions, such as the Black Sea and the Taiwan Strait, are heating up. These areas are heavily fortified with advanced defense systems, including long-range radar, anti-ship missiles, unmanned reconnaissance aircraft, and intricate surveillance networks. All of this makes deploying manned warships riskier than ever, both in human cost and in financial terms. Against that backdrop, the solution the U.S. Navy is choosing is nothing other than unmanned platforms. These include UAVs, USVs, and UUVs. All of them can carry out reconnaissance, strike, and jamming missions without the direct presence of humans. In particular, their ability to operate continuously at low cost and to be deployed in large swarms makes them a trump card on the battlefield. One of the clearest examples of the effectiveness of unmanned weapons is what has been happening on the Crimean Peninsula. Since late 2023, Ukraine has widely employed USVs, such as the Magura V5 and Shiba B, to attack Russia's Black Sea fleet. According to Time magazine in 2024, Ukrainian unmanned vessels destroyed roughly 20 enemy warships. Another striking incident occurred in May 2025, when the USV Magura V7 shot down 2 Russian Su-30SM fighters with missiles. That event marked the first time in modern history that an unmanned platform downed combat aircraft. Notably, the cost to produce each Magura is only about $200,000, an extremely modest sum compared with the damage they inflict. Houthi militants have also used USVs to attack commercial ships in the Red Sea in recent months. These examples are the clearest proof of the advantages unmanned platforms can bring. The United States, of course, recognizes this. It sees a new path to maintain its naval supremacy and has set in motion a plan to field an entire unmanned fleet. So how is the U.S. doing this? Fundamentally, America's plan focuses on 3 key platforms. The first is unmanned aircraft. Among them, Boeing's Mercury Highland Stingray is the most notable UAV program. This is an aerial refueling drone capable of operating from aircraft carriers. Its mission is to refuel fighter aircraft. Visually, the UAV is over 15 meters long, with a wingspan of about 23 meters. Inside, it is equipped with a powerful roller-rise engine. That allows the UAV to carry a payload of nearly 7 tons and achieve an operational range of nearly 1,000 kilometers. As a result, it can perform missions deep inside an operational area. At this point, many will ask, how can an unmanned aircraft carry out the highly precise task of aerial refueling? The answer lies in the satellite communications system that the Mercury Highland uses. Through that system, the command center can monitor every piece of information and parameter from the aircraft and can easily control it to carry out missions. The effectiveness of this system was proven when the Mercury 25 was tested aboard the USS George H.W. Bush in 2021 and produced positive results. It successfully completed multiple aerial refueling operations, first with the F/A-18F, then with the F-35 and the E-2D Hawkeye. With those encouraging results, the U.S. Navy decided to make the Mercury 25 a core element of its unmanned fleet plan. They are implementing this intention by ordering roughly 70 units for deployment on the Nimitz and Ford-class carriers. Estimates put the program's total budget at up to $15 billion. Of course, the Navy's ambitions do not stop there. After the Mercury 25, they plan to develop other UEV types such as AeroVironment's Blackwing, designed to be launched from submarines. According to the manufacturer, this unmanned aerial vehicle is quite compact, just 51 centimeters long, with a wingspan of 68 centimeters and weighing nearly 2 kilograms. What makes this UEV special is that it can be folded to fit inside a submarine launch tube. Once it reaches the surface, the Blackwing unfolds its wings and operates like other drones. Although its range has not been disclosed, AeroVironment states that this UEV can remain airborne for 1 continuous hour. Its primary mission is to conduct reconnaissance across ocean regions. To optimize for that role, the aircraft is equipped with electro-optical and infrared sensor systems, along with secure digital data link capabilities. Thanks to these features, this UEV promises to become an effective tool that enables the U.S. Navy to gather critical intelligence on enemy fleets. According to released information, the U.S. military plans to purchase up to 120 Blackwing units and has already begun testing their deployment from submarines. Next, let's move on to surface unmanned vessels, or USVs, a crucial component of the Navy's unmanned fleet strategy. Among them, the most notable one is what you're seeing on screen right now. The Sea Hunter, one of the earliest USVs ever developed in the world. Its appearance is striking, featuring a trimaran design with a main hull about 40 meters long and 2 symmetrical side pontoons. This configuration allows the vessel to operate stably, even under harsh weather conditions. Tests conducted by the U.S. Department of Defense showed that the ship can perform missions even in Sea State 7 conditions, with waves over 6 meters high. In addition, the trimaran design gives the Sea Hunter a significant payload capacity. Although the exact figure has not been disclosed, testing suggests the vessel can carry a wide range of weapons and a large amount of fuel. As a result, it can remain operational at sea for 30 to 90 days, depending on the mission. Most commonly, submarine hunting. The vessel is equipped with high-frequency fixed sonar technology and an advanced Challenge maritime surveillance system. Through these, the Sea Hunter can search for, detect, locate, and track targets from long distances. Notably, the system can accurately distinguish between different types of submarines. To meet operational demands, the USV uses 2 DSN engines that allow it to reach speeds of up to 27 knots and a range of up to 16,000 kilometers. This means the Sea Hunter can appear in virtually any ocean across the globe. It once completed a remarkable 8,300-kilometer journey from San Diego to Hawaii and back, entirely without any human intervention. That achievement brought a massive advantage in operational cost, as the Sea Hunter only requires around $20,000 per day to operate, compared to about $700,000 for a traditional destroyer. Thanks to these advantages, it has become the foundation for numerous other unmanned warship programs. One of them is Project Overlord, which aims to develop USVs roughly the size of full-fledged warships, capable of carrying a complete arsenal to strike both sea and land targets. As of now, several ships from this project, such as Ranger, Nomad, Mariner, and Vanguard, have already begun their testing phases. Among them, Nomad completed a voyage of over 4,000 nautical miles, operating 98% autonomously. Meanwhile, Mariner is currently being tested on the Aegis combat system. Together, these vessels represent the first unmanned surface unit officially operated by the U.S. Navy. Roughly $500 million has already been approved by the U.S. government for further research and development of such ships, and that figure is expected to rise in the future. So far, we've covered two major categories within the U.S. Navy's unmanned fleet program. Now let's move on to the final piece of the puzzle, the unmanned submarine, with the most notable project being Orca HLM UUV, jointly developed by Boeing and Huntington Ingalls Industries. Their goal is to create a vehicle that delivers maximum performance at minimal cost. According to Boeing, development of the Orca began in 2017, designed to handle critical, long-duration missions in turbulent maritime environments. At first glance, it resembles a giant torpedo, about 24 meters long, weighing 80 tons, and capable of carrying a payload of up to 8 tons. Its cargo bay is built in a modular format, allowing for easy integration of different mission-specific systems. To ensure stable, long-term operation, the Orca is powered by an electric DSN propulsion system and lithium-ion batteries. Thanks to this, the UUV can reach speeds of up to 15 kilometers per hour, operate for more than 6,500 nautical miles, and dive to depths of 3,000 meters. In addition, to guarantee that the Orca always follows its assigned route precisely, it's equipped with an advanced autonomous navigation and mission management system. Recognizing its exceptional capabilities, the U.S. Navy quickly signed a production contract with Boeing to bring the Orca into full-scale development and deployment. They have received the first Orca and begun a series of operational trials. If results are positive, the United States will accelerate production of this class of submarines in 2026. Alongside Orca, the U.S. Navy is also widely deploying smaller unmanned vehicles. One of these is the Raymer 600, developed by Hiploid. This UUV can operate at depths of up to 600 meters. It resembles a torpedo about 4.3 meters long with a diameter of 0.7 meters. The weight of this vehicle ranges from 240 to 270 kilograms, depending on the mission, whether reconnaissance or mine countermeasures. To perform such tasks, the Raymers are fitted with numerous sensors in the nose, most notably an acoustic positioning system that tracks objects underwater. In addition, a specially designed high-resolution camera is installed to capture imagery. Thanks to this suite of sophisticated systems, the UUV can conduct seabed reconnaissance autonomously without direct human control. Its tail houses a propeller that gives it stable motion at roughly 5 knots. It can operate continuously for up to 70 hours, with a range measured in the hundreds of kilometers. Thus, Raymers are suitable for both oceanographic research and military missions. These UUVs can be deployed from both surface warships and submarines. This capability expands the U.S. Navy's operational reach. The U.S. military previously used them for underwater mine detection missions in the Persian Gulf in 2012. With certain modifications, they could also be adapted into kamikaze or sacrificial systems. With these formidable platforms, the United States aims to build an unmanned fleet of more than 150 USVs and UAVs by 2045. All of these assets will be deployed according to a distributed strategy. Unmanned units will be placed across many areas, creating a flexible operational network that is difficult to disable. They will serve as both an initial layer of defense and a potent offensive spearhead at sea. This strategy draws inspiration from the impact Ukrainian USVs had on Russia's Black Sea fleet. One such example is the following case. As you can see, the USV in this footage can easily approach a Russian warship to carry out a suicide attack. Ukraine later announced that the enemy vessel had suffered severe damage and was forced to retreat. The incident occurred around mid-2023, and just about 6 months later, another USV attack took place in the Black Sea. This time, the damage to the Russians was far greater, as their entire warship was sunk. These very successes of Ukraine have partly driven the U.S. Navy to build its own unmanned fleet. However, every plan carries its risks. Although the potential of an unmanned fleet is enormous, the UAV faces many challenges in creating such a force. The first difficulty lies in technology. For an unmanned fleet to operate smoothly, the U.S. needs a secure and stable control and communication system to prevent disruptions caused by enemy electronic countermeasures. Without satellite or GPS signals, unmanned platforms could lose their navigation capabilities. This is highly likely to occur in near-shore combat scenarios where jamming devices could cripple entire systems. To prevent that from happening, the U.S. Congress has demanded one crucial condition from the Navy: They must prove that their USVs can operate continuously for 720 hours at sea without any human intervention. Once that is achieved, a multi-billion-dollar budget will immediately be approved to develop the unmanned fleet. This requirement has placed immense pressure on the Navy and major technology corporations such as Boeing, Leidos, and General Atomics. Because if they fail, the plan for an unmanned fleet will remain nothing more than words on paper. From this, another major challenge becomes clear: the issue of funding. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, the budget for unmanned vehicles in the 2025 fiscal year is around $1 billion, while funding for traditional warships reaches $32 billion. This shows the caution among policymakers. They want to see proven results before committing to large-scale investments. Another major obstacle to the U.S. Navy's ambitious plan lies in something far more complex: ethics and the law. Non-governmental organizations have spoken out time and time again, condemning the use of autonomous weapons in modern warfare. Some even call it unacceptable. Experts share similar concerns. They fear that handing the power to pull the trigger over to AI could lead to dangerous, uncontrollable outcomes. Think about it. Could a USV really tell the difference between a warship and an ordinary fishing boat? And that's just one of many questions about the morality of autonomous weapons. In real-world tests, these systems have already made plenty of mistakes. Sometimes, even a slight change in radar signals or image patterns is enough to make them misfire. In one test last August in California, an unmanned boat suddenly sped up and crashed straight into its support vessel. That accident exposed serious flaws in the technology and became a major setback for the Navy's unmanned fleet program. Now imagine a worst-case scenario. What if a USV accidentally attacked a civilian ship? Who would be responsible? The programmer, the commander, or the government itself? That's the legal gray area no one has an answer for yet. To fix that, the US will need to create a proper legal framework to control autonomous weapons before they ever go into full-scale service. But the ethical debate isn't the only challenge. There's also growing concern that America's push for an unmanned fleet could spark a new global arms race. And that fear isn't unfounded, because China has already joined the race. Their own combat USV, called Jari, is roughly 15 meters long, armed with radar, torpedoes, and even surface-to-air missiles. In 2021, satellite photos revealed Jari being tested alongside other unmanned vehicles by the Chinese military. A clear sign that Beijing is building an autonomous fleet of its own. Evidence of this is clear. Chinese President Xi Jinping has personally ordered the Navy to make USVs an integral part of maritime warfare. In response, the United States has begun assisting its allies, Japan, Australia, and South Korea, in testing similar platforms. If this cooperation proves successful, Washington could soon establish an entire unmanned naval alliance across the Pacific. However, such a move would also heighten tensions between the US and China, an alarming prospect in a world already shaken by instability. Overall, the plan to build an unmanned fleet marks a profound shift in the US Navy's approach to naval warfare. Instead of relying solely on massive aircraft carrier strike groups or traditional destroyer fleets, they are now turning toward a far more flexible model. These unmanned vessels, small, inexpensive yet remarkably capable, open up enormous possibilities. They can simultaneously handle reconnaissance, mine clearance, offensive strikes, and defensive operations at sea. Still, this path is anything but smooth. Challenges in technology, cybersecurity, international legal frameworks, and coordination with manned fleets remain formidable obstacles. The pressing question is, can the United States overcome these barriers before its strategic rivals, Russia and China, pull ahead? While the answer remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the race to build unmanned fleets will redefine the balance of power across the world's oceans for decades to come.